Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. Today we're looking at a $55 budget Jinnie Fay JETMIRS second deck tech. From SNC, this 3/3 elf druid says if you would create one or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 cat tokens with haste or that many 3/1 dog tokens with vigilance. This deck is all about playing every token creating card we have, not just limiting ourselves to those creature tokens, turning them into cats and dogs and going wide on our opponents for the win. Get ready for this deck tech because it's pretty woof.
Pun.
As always, we're starting off the budget brew hot with all of that ramp. First on up are the classics in Cultivate and Kadama's Reach that both search our library for 2 basic lands, putting one into our hand and the other straight onto the field. There's Farseek to search out Plains or Mountain, putting it onto the field tapped, and Rampant Growth to search your library for a basic land, also putting it onto the field tapped. We've got Mana Geyser to add a mountain to our mana pool for each tap land our opponents control, and Seething Song to add 5 of that mountain mana. There's Commander Sphere and Mind Stone to add Naya or Colourless to our mana pool, with them both having that secondary option to sack and draw a card. There's Arcane Signet to add any of those Naya colours, and finally, we have Sol Ring, because Sol Ring. Before we get onto all of those token creature creators, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel down below for all things MTG. Subscribing is completely free to do, and it really does help our channel grow and grow. And if you're going to be jumping in on that Double Masters 2022 hype or any MTG product and use Magic Madhouse, then use our affiliate link that can be found in our link tree below. So now we are looking at all of those token creature creators. First on up is Avenger of Zendikar and Pilaf World Sculptor, that when ETB create a 0/1 plant token for each land you control, with Pilaf doing the same but for each basic land you control. They both have those landfall loving triggers, with Avenger of Zendikar putting a +1/+1 counter on each plant anytime you play a land. And Pilaf again doing the same, but putting a 1/1 counter on target plant when those lands hit the field. There is Arasta of the Endless Web, the spider with reach that says when an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. And Dragonlair Spider, another reachy creature that says whenever an opponent casts a spell, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. There is Maya Bretagard Protector that says other creatures you control get +1/+1, and whenever a land ETBs into your control, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. And Scoot Swarm, that landfall loving insect that says whenever a land ETBs into your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. That brings back some horrible arena nightmares. From Midnight Hunt we have Adeline Resplendent Cathar, the vigilant human knight that's power and toughness are equal to the amount of creatures you control. And whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. And Loyal Apprentice with haste that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create a 1/1 colourless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. That token gains haste until end of turn. The more ways we can get to create tokens here are key. The more tokens coming on the board, the more we can turn them into those cats or dogs. There is Krenko Tin Street Kingpin that when attacks put a +1/+1 counter on it, then you create a number of 1/1 red goblin tokens equal to Krenko's power. And Requiem Angel, the flyer that says whenever a non-spirit creature you control dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the field. Also from Streets of New Capenna we have Fabine, Boss's Confidant, that says creature tokens you control have haste. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, each player reveals the top card of their library. For each land card revealed this way, you create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. And creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each non-land card revealed this way. Then, each player draws a card. And Reese the Redeemed, that classic Selesnya card that you can play and tap to create a 1/1 white elf warrior creature token. And you can also, for each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature if you pay the 6. Finally, we have Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, with that 0 loyalty ability to create 2 1/1 elemental creature tokens. They gain haste and normally they're sacked at the beginning of your end step, but if you're turning them into cats or dogs, then they're not going anywhere. Now those creatures aren't the only ways we have to make tokens, so we're looking at every other card in our deck that's creating us those tasty creature tokens. First up is Artifact Mutation. To destroy target artifact, then you create X 1/1 sapling creature tokens, where X is that artifact's converted mana cost. And we have Aura Mutation to do exactly the same, but it's destroying a target enchantment. There's Increasing Devotion to create 5/1/1 human creature tokens. If this spell was cast from your graveyard, you create 10 instead. And Visions of Glory to create a 1/1 white human creature token for each creature you control, with that beloved flashback option. We've added in Rith's Charm that you can destroy target non-basic land, put 3 1/1 sapling creature tokens into play, or prevent all damage a source of your choice would deal this turn. And Sapling Migration, this says create 2 1/1 sapling creature tokens, and if it was kicked, create 4 of those tokens instead. There's Hordling Outburst to create 3 1/1 goblin creature tokens, and Release the Dogs to create 4 1/1 dog creature tokens. So those dogs can become 2/2 cats, or they get beefed up and become 3/1 dogs. There's Call the Coppercoats that says choose any number of target opponents. Create X 1/1 human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of creatures those opponents control, with that added strive mechanic that costs 1 in a planes more to cast for each target beyond the first. A March of the Multitudes to create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. It also has that wicked Convoke ability. And if you've already got loads of tokens on the field, then this could get some real value. There's Burn the House Down that either deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, or you create 3 1/1 devil creature tokens. This is when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target, them also gaining haste until end of turn. And Join the Dance to create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens with flashback. For the final 2 in this section, we have Shram's Expertise. This is create 3 1/1 colourless servo artifact creature tokens, and you may cast a card with converted mana cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. And Felidar Retreat with that landfall triggering option to create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token. As we hinted at earlier, creature tokens aren't the only tokens we're looking to create here, so let's look at everything else we're looking to bring to the table. First up is Black Market Tycoon. This says at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control, with the ability to tap it to create a treasure token. And Gala Greeters, it says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn, with the most important option being to create a tapped treasure token. We have Jewel Thief, the Cat Rogue, that says when it ETBs, create a treasure token. And Strike It Rich to create a treasure token, again another card you can flashback. We have Enchantment's Stimulus Package that when ETBs create 2 treasure tokens. We can also sack those treasures to create a 1/1 citizen creature token. And Crack Open to destroy target artifact or enchantment, again creating us a tasty treasure token. The key wording with Jinnie Fay is that if you would create 1 or more tokens, so they don't have to be creatures, they could be treasure, they could be food, they can be anything you want. We have Big Score and Seize the Spoils that say as an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, but they both draw us 2 cards, with Seize the Spoils creating us a treasure token and Big Score creating us 2. And we have Unexpected Windfall, exactly the same as Big Score, creating 2 cards and getting 2 treasure tokens. And Sticky Fingers to enchant creature. Enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. There's Rootborn Defenses to populate, giving creatures you control indestructible until end of turn. And Sundering Growth to destroy target artifact or enchantment, again giving you that chance to populate. We have one of the key cards here in Second Harvest that says for each token you control, put a token onto the field that's a copy of that permanent. And Prava of the Steel Legion that says as long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+4, with that added option to pay and create a 1/1 soldier creature token. On to the final 3, we have Hour of Reckoning to destroy all non-token creatures, so good as you can convoke again with all of those tokens, and they're keeping all of your tokens on the field. It's potentially a one-sided board wipe. And Incandescent Aria that deals 3 damage to each non-token creature. And Bay Offering, the enchantment that says at the beginning of each end step, if you've cast both a creature spell and a non-creature spell this turn, create a clue token, a food token, and a treasure token. As always, before we finish up with all of those lands, we're looking at the best of the rest in this budget brew. First up, we have Feline Sovereign that says other cats you control get +1/+1 and have protection from dogs. Whenever 1 or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. And Jetmir Nexus of Revels that can potentially give all of your creatures Vigilance, Trample and Double Strike depending on the amount of creatures that you have on the field. There's Champion of Lamholt. It says creatures with power less than it can't block creatures you control, and whenever another creature ETBs under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lamholt. And Kathar's Crusade. This is whenever a creature ETBs under your control, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. There's Chant of Vitu-Ghazi, again with that Convoke, that says prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. You gain 1 life for each damage prevented this way. And Pause for Reflection, another Convoke card to prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. We have Harsh Mercy, that says each player chooses a creature type. Destroy all creatures that aren't of a type chosen this way. And classic green removal, Beast Within, to destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 beast creature token. And Rite of Harmony, that says whenever a creature or enchantment ETBs under your control this turn, draw a card. And of course, it has that amazing flashback option. So now we are wrapping up Jinnie Fay with all of those lands. Starting off here, as always, with the basics, of which there are 10 plains, 10 mountain and 10 forest. We have Command Tower to tap to add 1 mana of any colour in your commander's colour identity, and Exotic Orchard that can add a mana of any colour that a land an opponent controls could produce. We have those classic cards in Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. They could both be sacrificed and search you out a basic land card, putting it onto the field tapped. And finally, we have Jungle Shrine to add any of those Naya colours, and Cabaretti Courtyard that when ETBs, you sack it. When you do, search your library for a basic mountain, forest or plains card, putting it onto the field tapped, and you gain a life. Jinnie Fay is such a cool commander, and both of those art styles are so nice too. I really can see why this is a commander that we've had requested to do a budget deck tech on for a while now. There we have it, that is the Jinnie Fay $55 budget deck tech. Thanks for watching and don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe down below for all things MTG. Check out our link tree in the description below for all of our social media and affiliate links. For now though, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next